Hi, I'm Dr. Scott Myers, and welcome to our podcast. I am just in a great mood today. One, Memorial Day weekend's coming up, and two, we have a excellent 12-week sales course that you can purchase right now. It's 100 a week for 12 weeks, and if you purchase the sales course by May 31st, 2023, I will give you a free servant leadership consultation, $295 value for an hour, absolutely free. So I thought today's podcast, I would give more detail about the free servant leadership consultation and explain how this 1 hour could increase your profits tenfold in your company. So let's look at some of the things before I go into more detail. We're going to just start off with servant leadership. So servant leadership is more of a calling. It's it's not that I can tell you to just go serve people. It's a calling, and servant leadership is it kind of the name should be relational leadership, because it isn't about serving others, like serving them foot and toe, and serving them from head to toe, and then being a doormat and everybody using it. No, servant leadership is a relational leadership, and individuals when a servant leader helps a servant follower grow and fulfills their needs, it's been shown in the research that the servant follower will actually give back and work 10 times harder for the servant leader. And the Greenleaf had a best test that he put out there for servant leaders to see how they are doing on their job. It's like a report card. And basically what Greenleaf said is he gave a best test. And the best test is, while I am a servant leader, do my individuals grow from servant follower to servant leader? Do they become healthier? Do they become wiser? Do they become more autonomous? Autonomous means, do they work just as hard or even harder with minimal supervision? You still supervise and check in with your team, but a servant leader who does a great job transforming a servant follower into a servant leader knows that when he or she leaves, they have built autonomy with their individuals, that they do the job. So a good example is when I was in graduate school, getting my MBA. No, excuse me. When I was in graduate school, getting my PhD, I studied a company called Nordstrom's. And what I found so fascinating about Nordstrom's is when there was a problem on the with the customer, the employees, the front end employees, had autonomy to make the call. If the customer wanted a discount, and it was, and the employee could say, okay, let's give that to you. Instead of saying, let me check with my manager, and then the customer waits, and then you have to explain the story again to the boss, the manager, but the employee was just able to just make the call and do it, and that is autonomy. So that is servant leadership. Within a servant leader understanding, a basic, very understanding of servant leadership. And so Greenleaf wrote numerous essays of thoughts and about servant leadership, and he had essays all over the place and different lengths. And so a gentleman that's in the Greenleaf that is part of servant leadership and has wrote many books that are published. I'd even call him, Greenleaf himself, only because he, has did so much for the servant leadership style of leading. And basically, what this gentleman is, Larry Spears. And Larry Spears is, I trained under him for 4 years at Gonzaga University during my graduate studies, getting my PhD. And the thing about Larry Spears is that he looked at all the essays and he said, I'm going to take all the essays and try to understand what exactly is servant leadership. We have the understanding of what a servant leader is and the test to see how he or she's doing. But how about just in general, because a leader needs followers to have that leadership dyad. So he found that there was 10 servant leadership characteristics. And these 10 servant leadership characteristics are awareness, building community, conceptualization, healing, persuasion, listening, empathy, stewardship, foresight, and the commitment to the growth of people. And so those are characteristics that the servant leadership, those are characteristics that the servant leader uses on a daily basis to fulfill the needs of his or her teammates. And by focusing on the individual, the individual in return works harder and just is just happier and has a more positive outlook of the company and spreads his or her view to his or her friends. So that's really what servant leadership is. It's relational leadership. And what I thought, when I was going through school, again, I kept hearing servant leadership, and the word just had such a negative connotation to it, because it's like, so I'm supposed to, run a company, but I'm supposed to serve others, and people take advantage of me, and can I get a mocha at Starbucks? Sure, yeah, let me go get it for you, and then lose an hour of business time. But I'm an expert in servant leadership, and I got my PhD in organizational leadership. And again, servant leadership is, it is a dyadic relationship, dyad meaning two, between servant leader and servant follower. And, it's a journey, it's a development of relationships. And when an individual works hard to fulfill the needs of the other, then the other grows, and in return gives back and works harder, and then in return becomes a servant leader himself or herself, and it just goes on and on. So, we have that 12-week sales program, and it's excellent, by the way. And with my servant leadership consultation, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, call you personally. It's a private one-on-one. And I'm going to just ask, what are your challenges of your company? And we're going to list them in order, prioritize them. And within that hour, I'm going to give you advice from a servant leadership lens, how you can start taking those challenges and turn them into profitability. And this is what's really great. I just love this because the 12-week sales course is $100 a week. And the course is phenomenal. I've already been through it, and it really helps a salesman or saleswoman understand the human being that he or she is selling to. And the course is so good that at the end of I should say the very first day, throughout the course, your salesmen or your saleswomen are going to be starting to increase their sales because of the techniques involved. And so your revenue is going to increase. And in addition, with the servant leadership consultation, 1 hour free servant leadership consultation, which I'm an expert in servant leadership, I have my PhD, that when you start applying the 10 characteristics I just mentioned and working to fulfill the needs of others, what happens is that the employees end up working harder, and you end up saving money on labor costs. Productivity actually increases. So, like, for example, you might have a person named Pat, and this person now, using servant leadership, is able to make 2 widgets an hour versus 1 previously. And Pat is able to do the work of 2 people versus 1. So you're saving on the extra employee costs, the FICA, that extra cost, plus you're making more widgets and saving on the cost, production costs too. And so between the increased sales and sales, from the 12-week sales course, plus the reduction of expenses from servant leadership, you're enhancing your profitability. And the servant leadership consultation is servant leadership tips that you can apply right now to your company when I give you that private one-on-one. You can even take these 10 tips that I have told you and apply right now too, and start seeing growth. So that is really what the servant leadership consultation is, the one-on-one. And it gets better. I mean, that's why I'm so excited about this podcast, is that it just keeps getting better and better. So we have a promotion we're doing throughout the end of May, and actually at the end of June. It's called F4. And you go on our Facebook page. It's Action Coach Spokane, Facebook, Kevin Weir, WEIR, and give us a follow. And at the end of May, you can win a $25 Visa card and or Starbucks gift card, a free business consultation, and many other prizes. And so we'll announce that on our Facebook page on May 31st and June 30th. But what's really cool is that, let's say you win the half an hour free business consultation. Okay, so now you have a 12 weeks, some individual is going to have a 12-week sales course to increase their revenue. They can have a business coach come in and give them an understanding and structure of, what their challenges are and what they need to do to, how can I help you grow and coach you. And then if that person buys that sales course, that 12-week sales course for only $100 a week, right now, before May 31st, I'm going to give them a free private servant leadership consultation, one-on-one, like I said, $295 value, absolutely free. So now this person is going to be able to look at the challenges and start applying servant leadership to them. And the person's going to just see their business explode in profit with the increase of revenue, the decrease in cost, the enhancement of profit. He or she can buy more assets, have more money for the company, and even more time for individuals to do what they really want to do, whether that's work, get a promotion, maybe go on a family vacation, whatever. So that's pretty much it for this podcast. I will, if you want to learn more about Action Coach, it's actioncoachspokane.com, and check out our Facebook page to look at our F4 promotion. It's if you go into Facebook and search Action Coach Spokane, that should pull it up. And Kevin, Weir, is one of my mentors, and just phenomenal businessman, business coach as well. So join me for my next podcast. I am going to be having Kevin Weir on, and I'm very excited because he's a servant leader and he has mentored me, a dear friend, and just phenomenal business coach and businessman. So please check out our sales course at actioncoachspokane.com, and you can find out the details. It's only $100 a week. And if you order right now before May 31st, you're going to get a free servant leadership consultation. And this is like a 10 times return on your ROI, return on investment, because the thing about servant leadership is an exponential effect, and employees turn into autonomous employees, and the word of mouth of the brand is spread throughout the community, and your enhancement, your profitability just increases tenfold. So I want to wish everybody a wonderful day. Happy Memorial Day weekend 2023. And I look forward to our next podcast with Mr. Kevin Weir. And have a wonderful day, everyone. Have a great day. And I will see you back soon on our podcast with Kevin Weir. Have a great day.